Hey there guys, and welcome to another Factorio Reddit Weekly. I'm Xterminator, and thank you for joining me. As always, we're checking out the post for the last week, the top post. That's the last month. Let's look at the last week. And by far the most highly upvoted, I already looked at this. As close as I've come to face palming in a long time. So, here we go. Please tell me this is a joke. So this is a screenshot of a negative review someone left. I tried to research my first thing and waited for a half hour. The progress bar did not even move to 1%. I do not have time for this game. Wow. Yeah, so this is why you play the tutorial. You wouldn't even really have to play the tutorial to figure this out, I don't think, like this person says. I didn't play any of the tutorial and figure that out right away. So basically, wow, this is just really sad. Like, my first thought here is it would have taken this person less time and effort to literally Google search, like, Factorio research or how to do Factorio research than it would have for them to go onto Steam, type up this review, and submit it. Like, this is just unbelievable to me. It's just unbelievable. I feel like this basically sums it up. It is like my very first inclination, which I pretty quickly put aside, was like to insult their intelligence. But the thing is, while it may be a thing with someone like not being that smart and figuring it out, I mean, it's like some people are smarter than other people. Like, you can't help that. Like that. But I don't even think it's an issue. I mean, it's maybe a little issue of that just because they couldn't figure it out intuitively. But I think more so what it's an issue of is basically what this person down here says. That if it's not a troll, basically the issue is that this person, and the thing is, this is like personally an issue that I think spans way outside gaming and is very prevalent in the real world. And what causes a lot of problems in the real world is that so many people are so convinced that they are right, that they could not be doing anything wrong, that there's no way they could be making a mistake, that they don't even like consider the possibility that maybe they should be doing something different. They're just so convinced that they aren't doing anything incorrectly that, like, if something doesn't work, it's automatically someone else's or something else's fault, which I think is the main issue here, where like they didn't even consider the fact that maybe they needed to do something differently to make the research happen. Their instant first thought was just, it's not working, I'm clearly not messing up, so it's the game's fault, which I think is just unbelievable to me. And the thing is, so many people are like that. However, two other things I want to mention. Like, I know this is a really long discussion for this, but I find this really interesting. Some people commented that part of the issue is that, like, a lot of games being released now are, like, so hand-holding type of games where they just, like, tell you exactly what to do on every single little step and give you, like, no room for you to actually figure something out. Then maybe that's causing issues, because so many games released like in the last several years and currently are like that, where it's just so dumbed down that people don't even attempt to consider like an option, like think through things themselves. I don't know if that's really, I mean, that's true, that the games, a lot of games are like that. I don't know if that's really causing an issue like this. Maybe it is. To take a little bit of fault off of this person, obviously this is still absurd. I do think the Factorio could definitely use some better tool tips and information. While the majority of people would have intuitively figured this out, or at the very least considered the fact they were doing something wrong and quickly Google searched it, a lot of games, and someone else mentioned this in this comment thread, a lot of games that have research don't usually require you to like put things into a special building to do them. A lot of times it's based off of like some other resource that you just like natively like just have, like not a physical thing. or it's just a special building you use or something, and it just takes time or whatever. So I feel like, and this is the case in multiple areas in Factorio, where I feel like things could just be a little better explained, and it would pretty much get rid of any confusion like this. Like when you go to reopen the research window, maybe something pops up and is like, um, I don't know, like make sure to put down science labs and insert the correct science pack to start a research. And it doesn't do that like just the first time somebody opens it, there's like a tooltip, like a little like helpful tip that pops up and says something like that. So it's just like super, the person still has to figure out like how to make the science pack and how to get it into the lab, but at least it's like told to them that they need to actually place a lab and then insert a specific item into it to actually make the research happen. I feel like things like that could be a little more clear in the game, but still, I still think this is just ridiculous. Anyway, moving on. Came into a random multiplayer game and saw this fishing dock. Didn't we look at this last, or did I look at this? Yeah, so this is pretty interesting. Inserters don't actually pick up fish, but I guess it's the thought that counts. But yeah, it's pretty funny. I like it. We keep posting our own spaghetti bases here, but never forget that the biggest spaghetti of them all is what the devs use to promote the game. Yes, this is V's base, one of his bases, I believe, and is absolutely amazing. I love it. I've toured multiple of his bases, and he just, V, makes absolutely crazy spaghetti bases. Probably some of the best out there, for sure. And some people were asking in the comments, oh, well, it's just right here. And for other people wondering, what's this? What are these white blocks? This is what rocket fuel actually used to look like. Rocket fuel used to look just like solid fuel, except white, a long time ago. So that shows how old this base is too. Also, it's pretty interesting to look at like the difference of how the underground belts and stuff look. But yeah, so that's what that is. Still amazing though. Super compact unloader for when you need a bus but don't have the space. Oh, I like this a lot. Oh man, I really like this. That's really, really impressive. Space is an actual problem. Wait. But space being an actual problem is something I never encountered so far in Factorio, especially once you do mass-produce landfill, club explosive weapon, and you can just clear a chunk of land as big as you want. That is very true, but sometimes it is still interesting to make very space-efficient designs. Shout out to the dude working ground crew at LGA. Was rocking my Factorio t-shirt while flying out of New York City. If you're the guy working ground crew at La Guardia, who asked me if the game was out of beta, hit me up. I'd like to gift you a copy. That's awesome. And then, yeah, this is so true. To be honest, Factorio's beta stage is still better than most AAA games after their 15th patch after release. Yes. So I don't think you really ever need to wait for Factorio to be out of beta to play it. There's always a rave in my factory. Loud. I'm going to turn this... Oh, my lord. That is so cool. John Hopkins. Okay, so this is potentially copyrighted. I'm going to actually mute it. Maybe too late anyway. This is actually so cool. I really love the color combinations they're using here. This is so neat. Oh my gosh. I actually love this. This is so cool. When you have a nice power pole grid in Factorio, gives you back this. Ah, yes. Bot power pole placing. Gotta love it. There is a mod for it, though. Power grid comb, which I actually spotlighted. Man. You can re-roll with decomp planner. Re-roll. I like that. I really like that description. Half a year ago, I completed my first Bobs and Angels run. I proudly present the pipe yard. Oh, good God. Oh, my gosh. Oh, this is like the worst kind of spaghetti. This actually, like, kind of causes me pain to look at. So you went crazy while building this, and the delay in posting is because of your time in a mental health institution? Holy shit, things I hate it. I'm going to tell you this is exactly what my brain looks like after trying to understand it. Yes. I don't know how they managed to not mix fluids here. Very carefully. Oh, this makes me really uncomfortable. I was reading the game's EULA and stumbled upon this. Who do I blame for my addiction now? Yes, I love that the Factorio devs actually put this in here. Especially, we are not responsible if you stay awake all night long playing Factorio and can't go to school or work in the morning. Legalizing digital cocaine. Sure, EULAs are evil. The E stands for evil, right? I can't believe I still don't consider the game is pretty polished. Just as a factory must grow, so too must Factorio grow. Amen. Man, that's awesome. Spaghetti Madness. Oh, we missed one. Let's look at this one. Thought of some enemies that could spice up gameplay. Hope you guys like it. Not the best art, but I did what I could with MS Paint. This is actually really impressive. Holy moly. So, a sapper. Steals electricity from your grid. I really like that. Flyer can fly over your walls. There could be an AA gun for this guy. Breaker, very good at breaking walls. Runner, looks like an anteater. Runs really fast. Can jump over one set of walls in its lifetime. Encourages honeycombing and multiple layers. Commander, busts enemies in radius. Breeder, acts as a mobile spawner. This, I'm a huge fan of this. Also the art. But I know Factorio isn't focused on enemies and stuff, but like, I don't know. I feel like this would be really cool. Someone could totally make a mod of this. Hint, hint. Any mod devs watching? But I can't see this being in the base game, mostly because aliens are simplistic and they seem to want it to stay that way. But I definitely put this on a modded game. Someone please make this a mod. Bonus points if you use the original art. Why would you even bother making it without this art? If you'll get better at modeling, we can make a mod out of it. I really like if someone makes this would be a really, really interesting enemies mod. If someone, I mean, there's multiple like combat enemy mods already. I feel like someone could totally do this. It's really cool. I like it a lot. So then this one, Spaghetti Madness to Rocket Science. I like this cliff in the middle of their base. There's like gates. Wait, where'd it go? Wait, where did it go? Oh no, you zoomed in on the wrong place. Where did it go? Oh, yeah, they walled in part. Like, I love how this is just walled in the middle of their base with turrets. Oh man, this is really cool. How do people make such good use of space? My factories always have a ton of space in between to allow for inevitable spaghetti or expansion to pass through. Step 1, never leave enough space. Step 2, regret. Yeah. Basically, to build a spaghetti factory like this, where everything is occupied, you have to just not consider expansion as an option. And just shove everything in every, like, little place it could possibly go. Devs, save my stupid brain by changing an icon. Yeah, this has always bothered me a little bit. Icon for fluids tab looks exactly like the Erlenmeyer flasks icon for science. This, however, is a clever ruse, a trap if you will, for when you click that icon, you cannot find any science to select. I continuously subliminally click that icon when trying to find the science flask, causing me seconds of pain and confusion. I am sure I'm not the only one. Please, kind developers, change the icon for the fluids tab. May I suggest the teardrop used for oil, water, etc. Maybe with sulfuric acid or steam icon behind it to better represent fluids. This is liquid science. How about this? Don't change the icon, but move the science packs in the fluids tab, then make them actual fluids in game so we have to either barrel them or transport them by pipe. Problem solved. I don't think so. The barrel science has to be way more efficient than a little flask. What an idea. Yes, just like 55-gallon drums of science. I love it. Completed the game for the first time, yay. Prior to this one, I had started 2 factories, which I've mismanaged to spaghetti of doom state and eventually neglected. Very nice. Well, massive congrats to this guy. I love, this person, guy or gal. I love all the, dead biters over here. This is it. I'm amazed you got a rocket with such a small footprint. Yeah, I'm pretty blown away they managed to get a rocket with this. It seems like a lot of AFK time. I mean, there are train stops, so they're out bringing in stuff from outposts, but I feel like this is definitely their main factory. Yeah, I think it's just a very long play time. The sweet glow from the power plant. Holy reactors. This is so much power. I really, really like this heat pipe set. Look at the size of this. What you can see on the screen is only like this much and up. Now that's a power plant right there. I'm sick of these cowardly 4 reactor setups. This is that dink shit right here. I was testing an update to my tileable setup. I got a lake I was able to fit 342 reactors on. The expected output is 54,560 megawatts, and it looks like it's holding up. It's 54 gigawatts, dude. I feel like there's a mega base out there somewhere that would use this much. If there's not, it's a challenge that someone needs to complete. The glow, the wonderful glow. Can you not see it in general? Oh my god. That's a really impressive nuclear build. Is this normal? Oh, they're saving method, like their naming method here. Mine usually read like XXX, automated more iron, even more iron, bugs. Mine are just save 1, save 2. I get even simpler, A, B, C, O, A, O, B. For me, it's oh my god, Bob's. Mine is close to this one, except without version number. My saves are usually just named whatever playthrough like series I'm doing, like post collapse or space exploration. Because I don't have the best memory, so if I name them something kind of obscure, I'm gonna have like no idea what save is which. I mean, maybe that's the point. I don't know. Very appropriate respawn point. There's a cross. Right next to Caesar, huh? Or a grave. Too soon. Why was Factorio even made? I hate this. Thought to play Factorio New 17 stable after a long break, 9 months from it. Started at 6 p.m. I'm stopping now at 2 a.m. because I need to eat dinner. Yep, need to delete it again. Damn it, why is this so good? Now I understand why people do drugs. Factorio. Seriously, why make something so good but you can't play it because it's going to ruin your study and social life? It's like a forbidden fruit. Once you start, you can't stop. The factory must grow. Now delete it. 10 p.m. bedtime. Just going to fix this bottleneck. WTF, why is this bird chirping so late? Is that the sun? So every damn time I try and fix one thing, I always end up in a chain. Pretty much. That's pretty good example. You can't compare Factorio to drugs. Drugs cost a lot more. Depends on what you have to pay. Money? Yes, drugs cost more. Time? Done 0 minutes of drugs, but Factorio took 5,300 hours of my life. 5,300 hours so far. Factory must grow. What I would love, you know how like big games like Riot puts out for League of Legends, or like Blizzard does for like Overwatch and stuff like that, like really like huge overarching statistics of like X amount of things that have happened in the game that people done. And I think Factorio devs have done this with a couple things, and I don't know, they should be able to track this maybe through Steam statistics. It would only be through Steam, obviously, but I would be really interested and probably horrified at if the devs release a statistic, if they had it, of the total hours played between all players on Steam so far. Is that actually public? I feel like I've seen that for games for Steam. Actually, maybe that's just like a public thing you can look at. I feel like an idiot if it is. I'm totally going to look that up after this, because I feel like I've actually seen that before. I suspect it would be massively high. The domino effect and its consequences, tip for all players. Major tip to prevent unnecessary nuking of forests, make sure your assemblers are rotated correctly. Okay. Order of progression. Wait, what? Plate. Making rocket fuel domino effect. Place down the assembler and pipes, grabbers, etc. Seeing that they are not getting any light oil, looking to see some of my oil refiners not working. Notice I would be lacking crude oil. Find the nearest oil field. Huge forest. I don't want to mine out this whole forest. Nuke the forest. The assemblers are still not getting any light oil. Notice that they are not rotated the correct way to receive the oil. Cry. Great example of fixing stuff in Factorio. Yep, I knew what this was before I even clicked it. I knew it. This is Malcolm in the Middle. Such a good show. And it's so appropriate. I'd watch it, but again, copyright. I call them anti-pollution farm. They passively eat the pollution around my base while causing me no harm. Oh my god, they're just being killed on spawn. That's so mean. This is so cruel. I loved it. Not effective, but fun to do. Oh my gosh. This physically hurts. Oh god, why would you do this? Stop it. No. This should be like an advanced scenario where you start with this mess and have to fix it. Burn it all down. That'll fix it. Yeah, my fix is select nuke. Press C. And take the respawn, and then your whole factory is fixed because you don't have to deal with this crap. Build nuclear missiles, step 3, profit. Exactly. I got a bit bored. Oh my god. Is this foot bigger than this foot? In the meantime, your iron is suffering from iron deficiency. Yes, but Timmy don't need no iron to tell him what to do. He's a strong, independent young man. He took a trip to the ER for this. Oh my god, yeah, his foot was the wrong size. I miss mixed fluids. Oh god. What in God's name is this person doing? Wait, how is this even working? Doesn't this, like, totally back up? Am I, like, totally missing something? Switching fluids, but all fluids are produced at the same time. I don't really understand. The absolute monster, I see what you're doing. It's very clever, but you're a monster. Came to conclusion the best way to do that was making all the inputs and outputs each channel through one pipe. It had its cons and of course makes it little logical sense for mixed oil products that have been separated, but IMO was the most interesting thing I'd ever designed in Factorio. Each and every pump is required and has a purpose of making sure the system works. Making sure that there's a minimum amount of fluid in the tanks to keep pumps primed. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that. Boy, do I love flamethrowers. Oh man. Flamethrowers are so great, and they're super effective. I think they're actually probably the most effective base defense there is. They're kind of a pain, because like you got to run liquids to them and stuff. And they do have the minimum range. Having walls like this helps a lot, though. I mean, lasers are really good, but I found flamethrowers actually just kind of obliterate like every single type of biter. Guys, so I regret turning off biters instead of increasing starting area size to max my first and current playthrough. Seeing flamethrowers or late tech like artillery laser stings a little bit every time. Defending your base, I think, is pretty fun sometimes. Literally unplayable. Oh, yes. This drives me crazy. No, you see, this is completely accurate and acceptable. As focused as the engineer is on growing the factory, the real enemy are trees and not rocks. Therefore, the engineer cut a perfectly sized hole in the side and under the rock for the belt to fit. Or they just let stone bricks slam into the rock until they punch a hole through. Just let erosion do the work. Yes. I like it. This was a really, really good stuff this week. Some really crazy, kind of ridiculous stuff. But some really, really interesting designs. Stuff I've never really seen before. Some funny posts. Really, really good this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Leave your thoughts below. As always, I'm always interested to hear what you have to say. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.